New AEW World Champion Bryan Danielson will address his future in professional wrestling after winning the AEW World Championship this weekend at AEW All In tonight on AEW Dynamite. The ratings for this weekend's edition of AEW Collision, of course the All In Go Home show that was pre-taped in Cardiff, have been revealed. Tony Khan reveals some great news about the ticket sales and pay-per-view buys for AEW All In at Wembley Stadium. Khan also says the fans have to trust him after a match announcement for tonight's AEW Dynamite broadcast on TBS. Jamie Hayter's first match since returning at All In has been revealed for tonight's AEW Dynamite. Ricochet's Dynamite debut match has also been confirmed. An update on the details surrounding Swerve Strickland's new AEW contract, plus Will Ospreay will defend the AEW International Championship against PAC at AEW All Out. Trick Williams will be the special guest referee for the NXT Championship match this coming weekend at NXT No Mercy. TNA wrestling star Rosemary appears last night on NXT and faces off against the NXT Women's North American Champion. Details when it comes to rumors suggesting that the WWE Performance Center location could be moved from Orlando, Florida to Las Vegas, Nevada. We'll let you know all of the details and pushback on some of those rumors. We've got the ratings for Monday's edition of Raw, the Bash in Berlin Go Home episode, plus Humberto Carrillo signs a new contract with WWE. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's begin with the latest surrounding the future of Bryan Danielson. Of course, the brand new AEW World Champion after winning the championship in the main event of AEW All In at Wembley Stadium this weekend. New AEW World Champion Bryan Danielson is set to address his future following his title victory at AEW All In London on tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite. The American Dragon finally captured his first championship in AEW in the main event of All In London at Wembley Stadium this past weekend. Bryan was victorious in a title versus career match against Swerve Strickland to capture the title for the first time in his career. Bryan has been rather outspoken about his upcoming retirement from wrestling this year, with many speculating about how his future may look even after his victory at Wembley. However, we won't have to wait too long to find out, as AEW has announced that Bryan will address his future tonight on AEW Dynamite. Both Darby Allin and Christian Cage have earned future opportunities at the AEW World Championship, with Darby set to challenge the champion at AEW Grand Slam at Arthur Ashe Stadium in New York. Of course, tonight's Dynamite features a plethora of other major matches that we'll get to shortly. But what do you think happens when it comes to the future of Bryan Danielson? He has said this is going to be his last full-time year as a professional wrestler. He's also said that he needs neck surgery, and that's going to be an immediate concern for him once he retires this year. So what do you think he announces tonight on Dynamite? Let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section below. Now, we have the ratings for Saturday's edition of AEW Collision on TNT. Of course, it was pre-taped. It was the go-home show for AEW All In the following night. It was taped in Cardiff, Wales. Of course, the first episode of Collision to air in Europe. Now, the summer is slowly turning into the fall, which means AEW Collision is about to face some of its toughest non-WWE competition in the form of the NFL and college football. In some ways, the competition has already started, as the NFL preseason just finished up this past weekend against Collision, while the college football season also started, albeit earlier on in the day. Thus, it will come as a relief that AEW's Saturday show held up pretty well. WrestleNomics is reporting that Collision drew 442,000 total viewers and a 0.13 in the coveted 18 to 49 demographic. It was good news all around, as total viewership was up 9% from the previous week's 406,000 viewers, while the 18 to 49 remained steady, showing no change. The numbers were more impressive against the 4-week average, with total viewership rising 15% from 386,000, while the 18 to 49 was up 8% from a 0.12. Now, in terms of the quarter-hour ratings, these come courtesy of WrestleNomics. Shout out to them, and be sure to subscribe to their Patreon service. As you can see, all of the numbers were above the trend of the last 90 days. Collision's solid numbers came despite the NFL preseason and college football competition, which reigned supreme throughout Saturday. As a result, Collision found itself nearly falling out of the top 20 in the 18-49 for the day, winding up in 18th place behind the NFL and college football, among other events. Taped on Wednesday night and serving as the go-home show show for AEW All In, which took place the next day, Collision was headlined by a wildcard trios match for the final spot in the London Ladders match for the AEW World Trios Championships, with Claudio Castagnoli, Pac, and Wheeler Yuta defeating Top Flight and Lio Rush for the final spot. The show also featured a notable encounter between Hook and Big Bill, which saw the normally hated Bill receive a hero's welcome from the Cardiff Vale crowd. Ultimately, it was no help to Bill, who was still defeated by Hook. Now, Tony Khan has said he has some great news when it comes to the AEW All-In ticket sales and pay-per-view buys. Now, again, this is certainly significant because many consider that AEW All-In is AEW's biggest pay-per-view of the year, and AEW President and CEO Tony Khan has revealed good news regarding the pay-per-view event. All Elite Wrestling returned to London's Wembley Stadium for the All-In London 2024 event. At the pay-per-view, Bryan Danielson defeated Swerve Strickland to keep his career alive and win the AEW World Championship in the main event. Now, during the post-show media scrum, AEW President Tony Khan didn't reveal any numbers in regards to the business that the show generated. On August 27th, Khan took to social media to reveal good news regarding the business for AEW All in London. He wrote the following quote, "Great news with over 50,000 tickets sold, Wembley Stadium for AEW All in London. I think our best show ever. It was also one of our top 2 pay-per-view buys in the past year, along with AEW Revolution, Sting's Final Encounter. What a 2024 for AEW. See you for Wednesday night AEW Dynamite tomorrow." Now, in response to Khan's tweet about this, just to kind of give you a bit of a barometer and comparison to what numbers he's really referring to here, in a response to Khan's tweet about the All-In London pay-per-view buys, Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics posted a quote tweet about the pay-per-view buy rates for AEW Revolution, which of course was Sting's retirement pay-per-view. He wrote, quote, "Revolution was reportedly in the neighborhood of 180,000 buys. Last year's All-In was around 200,000 buys." Now, as I mentioned, AEW Revolution featured Sting's final match with the Legend teaming with Darby Allin to defeat the Young Bucks to retain the AEW World Tag Team Championships in the main event. So, seemingly, it's around that kind of number. What do you make of the ticket sales? What do you make of the pay-per-view buys? Let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section below. Now, Tony Khan's also been active on social media. He's been asking for trust from some of the AEW fans. Now, All Elite Wrestling, of course, is still riding high after the successful Wembley Stadium show this weekend. At the event, Hook defeated Chris Jericho to regain the FTW Championship, thanks to a timely assist from his father Taz at ringside. On August 27th, Tony Khan took to social media to announce that both Hook and Chris Jericho would compete in an 8-man all-star tag team match on the August 28th edition of AEW Dynamite. He wrote, quote, "Tomorrow, Wednesday night Dynamite, Champaign, Illinois on TBS. All-star 8-man tag, Chris Jericho, Big Bill, Brian Keith, Roderick Strong versus FTW champion Hook, Orange Cassidy, Kyle O'Reilly, and Ring of Honor World Champion Mark Briscoe. Rivalries explode on AEW Dynamite on TBS tomorrow." Now, after receiving some negative feedback from fans in regards to Hook and Jericho once again being in a match together after the apparent blow-off to a 5-month rivalry, Khan had a follow-up tweet writing, quote, "Sometimes you just have to trust me. I expect this match to rock AEW Dynamite on TBS." So, do you trust Tony Khan? Do you think it will rock? Let me know your thoughts about that one too. Now, AEW All In saw the return of Jamie Hayter to AEW television for the first time in over a year, and her first match in over a year has now been confirmed. As I mentioned, Hayter made a surprise appearance during the 0-hour pre-show at AEW All In when she confronted Saraya on the show, chasing her off in her home country after Saraya claimed to be the best wrestler from England. Hayter has not appeared on AEW television since Double or Nothing 2023, where she lost the AEW Women's World Championship to timeless Toni Storm before missing over 15 months of in-ring competition. Now, Hayter's first match in over a year has been announced for tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite, where she'll face off with Saraya's partner, Harley Cameron. So, a big match confirmed for the show. It's not the only one that's been confirmed, as the AEW Dynamite debut of Ricochet has also been confirmed for this evening. It's official, of course, Ricochet is All Elite. After months of speculation on his contract status and where he may land, the former Intercontinental Champion in WWE has arrived in AEW, showing up as one of the many surprises in the Casino Gauntlet match at All In London on August 25th. Now, in the brief time he has been in the company, he has already managed to share the ring with the likes of Hangman Adam Page, Kazuchika Okada, and even Nigel McGuinness. But on AEW Dynamite, fans in Illinois will get to see the TV debut of the one and only. After a challenge was laid out by Don Callis and Kyle Fletcher following All In, the match has been made, and Ricochet and Fletcher will go one-on-one tonight on TBS. The two have never faced each other before, but have been getting into it on social media. Fletcher stated he was looking forward to welcoming the former WWE star to AEW personally, but Ricochet wanted no part of the interaction, stating he would rather keep his conversations with Fletcher brief. Fletcher responded by saying he would know a lot about keeping things brief after being the inaugural WWE Speed Champion, to which Ricochet responded by saying that more people watched him wrestle for 3 minutes than any of Fletcher's matches. Now, Fletcher isn't the only one Ricochet has been dealing with on social media following his AEW debut, as he has responded to multiple tweets and messages of fans voicing their displeasure of him leaving WWE to join the competition. However, the man himself has said that he is very happy with his decision to join AEW, and that the people who are moaning online are just negative for the sake of being negative and lead very miserable lives, according to the former United States champion. Now, Swerve Strickland. We found out during AEW All In's 0 Hour pre-show that Strickland has put pen to paper on a brand new AEW contract. At the time, we didn't have really any more details on it, but now we do, courtesy of Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select, who is reporting that Swerve Strickland is sticking with All Elite Wrestling for years to come. Swerve signed with AEW in March of 2022 with a 3-year deal that would take him into March of 2025. However, Swerve had outperformed it by the time his title reign rolled around, and negotiations began while he was champion. Swerve then signed his deal on the air with Tony Khan present. As noted, there was still time on his deal, but AEW prioritized getting the contract done to lock him down for years to come. Fightful have been told the contract is a multi-year contract that will keep him with the company until at least 2028, though Fightful say they aren't sure of the exact length of the deal. It was confirmed to Fightful that this is considered one of the biggest deals in the company's history. AEW sources had long maintained that they'd been over the moon with Swerve's performances in and outside of the ring. He's expected to remain a performer at the top of the card during his contract. Now, Will Ospreay versus Pac for the AEW International Championship has now been confirmed, and Pac finally is going to get his opportunity at the International Championship, an opportunity he earned absolutely months ago. Of course, at AEW All In London, Will Ospreay defeated MJF to become a 2-time AEW International Champion. Ahead of the event, Pac earned himself a shot at the title and announced he would face the winner of All In London at All Out. On August 27th, All Elite Wrestling officially confirmed that Will Ospreay will defend the AEW International Championship against Pac on Saturday, September 7th at All Out in Chicago. Now, also at All In London, Pac, of course, teamed with Claudia Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta of the Blackpool Combat Club to defeat the Patriarchy, the House of Black, and the Bang Bang Gang in a London ladders match to become 1/3 of the brand new AEW World Trios Champions. So that match has now been confirmed for Chicago next weekend. Now, switching over to WWE and NXT, Trick Williams is a special guest referee this weekend. It wasn't just TNA wrestling star Joe Hendry's concert and song about him that upset NXT champion Ethan Page during NXT on Tuesday night. The show's general manager, Ava, added a new twist to Hendry and Page's match at No Mercy on Sunday. Following Hendry hyping up the crowd to sing at an enraged Page, Ava announced that because Page couldn't respect NXT officials, there will be a special guest referee for his title defense. Ava brought out Page's other foe, Trick Williams, who appeared in a referee shirt and counted to 3 after Hendry hit Page with a standing ovation and covered him in the middle of the ring. NXT's main event was touted as another Hendry concert before No Mercy. He thanked fans for their support and said to show his appreciation, he wrote another song about Page. Hendry sang about how Page stays in shape and how he wears costumes in his home and likes to work out dressed up. The song was accompanied by photos of Page on the Tron. Hendry sang the line, "Ethan sucks, believe in Joe, Ethan put on some clothes," and that got fans to sing along through Page's entrance and send him getting into the ring to face off against his opponent. Page ran down Hendry and said he's not an NXT star before Ava's music hit to introduce Williams. The segment ended not just with Hendry mockingly pinning Page, but with Williams' rival Pete Dunne standing on the stage. Dunne said to the camera that Williams should have fun while it lasts because he doesn't think Williams will make it to NXT next Tuesday, implying Dunne may also be present this weekend at No Mercy. Of course, Joe Hendry, a TNA wrestling contracted talent. We saw another one this Tuesday on NXT as the working relationship between WWE, NXT, and TNA wrestling continues. The WWE and TNA wrestling collaboration continued this week with former TNA Knockouts World Champion Rosemary crossing the line on Tuesday's episode of WWE's developmental brand. Rosemary's arrival to NXT came on the heels of a brief promo laid out by NXT Women's North American Champion Kalani Jordan. On September 1st, Jordan will defend the NXT Women's North American Championship against the nightmarish Wendy Chu at NXT No Mercy. Before the two clash over the title there, Chu promised to deliver a surprise opponent to Jordan on this week's episode of NXT. That opponent, of course, turned out to be the demon assassin Rosemary. Jordan and Rosemary battled back and forth in this non-title match, with Jordan landing a flatliner and a drop kick to the TNA talent. In response, Rosemary nailed her with a spear and a headbutt. In the end, it was Jordan who emerged victorious after executing a split-legged moonsault. Post-match, the sound of Chu's laugh echoed through the Performance Center as the lights dimmed around the ring and her face appeared on the nearby LED screens. With Jordan distracted by the commotion, Chu blindsided her from behind and locked her into a sleeper hold. As Jordan subsequently faded, Rosemary slid the NXT Women's North American Championship towards Chu, who proudly held it over the incapacitated Jordan. Rosemary's debut in NXT marks the latest installment of the cross-promotional appearances between WWE and TNA Wrestling. Her TNA colleague Zachary Wentz and Joe Hendry were featured on NXT this week. Now, of course, NXT broadcast filmed in the Performance Center in Orlando, Florida, but could that be set to change? Well, there was a lot of commotion yesterday when it came to the stories and rumors about a possible location change for the venue. Now, it began with the Twitter account WrestleVotes reporting, quote, according to a source, there was an all-employee meeting today at WWE HQ in Stamford hosted by Mark Shapiro. I'm told the biggest news to come out of the meeting is that the WWE Performance Center will be moving to Las Vegas in the near future. Naturally, this got a lot of people talking, with lots of people based in Florida to be close to the Performance Center. What would this mean for a lot of talent, for a lot of officials, for a lot of coaches, for a lot of employees? What would it all mean? Well, in a response, according to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select, WWE says they're not moving to the Performance Center. Reports emerged on August 27 claiming that the WWE Performance Center would be moved to Las Vegas from Orlando. WWE sources that Fightful Select spoke to that afternoon claimed that is false. Now, as I mentioned, the original report cited Mark Shapiro as announcing that during a meeting, which one WWE source reached out to quickly say didn't happen unless there was another meeting held. Additional sources within WWE say that Mark Shapiro did not make an announcement indicating a move to Las Vegas for the WWE PC. Specifically, Fightful have been told that Mark Shapiro was making a point that Las Vegas is a sports and entertainment destination and that having a WWE presence there is on the table. However, the company would need to figure out what that presence is, how much of a presence it would be, and when. No sources at the WWE Performance Center had heard of any plans to move to Las Vegas and were shocked when they saw word that it could happen. Many sources noted the proximity of current PC talent to the main roster and their ability to easily access it. Among other things, cost of living for trainee talent was mentioned as being far more beneficial in Orlando. So as of right now, WWE is adamant that that's not the case or even that a meeting actually happened. Now, when it comes to the original report from WrestleVotes, well, they're doubling down, saying that they believe in their reporting. They tweeted yesterday saying, quote, I've reached back out to the source after the follow-up from Sean Ross Sapp. They are still confident in our initial reports about Vegas. I'm also told this is not an overnight thing and could take some time. So both sides saying they're correct in their reporting. Now, let's talk about the ratings for Monday's edition of Raw on USA Network. Of course, the Bash in Berlin Go Home episode. Now, Monday night's WWE Raw episode averaged 1.796 million viewers on the USA Network, which is up 9.4% from last week. It's the second highest viewership total for the show since July 1st. In the 18 to 49 demographic, Raw topped all of television in prime time with a 0.56 rating. That's nearly 40% higher than the top-rated show on network television and almost triple the highest-rated show on cable. Raw was up 12% from last week in the demographic, but this ties the third lowest rating the show has done in that category since June 17. The show opened with 1.848 million viewers in hour one, with a 0.57 rating in the 18 to 49. That climbed to 1.889 million and 0.59 for the second hour, and dropped to 1.652 million and a 0.53 for the final hour. The 12.5% third hour drop was in the normal range for the show. As compared to the same week in 2023, Raw's overall view audience was up 7.1%, while its 18 to 49 rating was up 9.8%. It's the fourth straight week and eighth of the last 10 the show has had year-over-year increase in the key demographic. So certainly positive numbers when it comes to Raw for the final show before Bash in Berlin for the Red Brand. And finally, a bit of an update when it comes to Humberto Carrillo. Another WWE wrestler has re-signed with the company. Earlier this year, of course, Fightful Select revealed that Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo's WWE contracts were set to expire in August. Angel Garza confirmed this publicly and then later disclosed that he had re-signed with WWE. Fightful Select's Sean Ross Sapp has also confirmed that Humberto Carrillo has indeed re-signed with the company. Carrillo re-signed around the same time as Angel Garza, and Fightful Select has learned it is on a multi-year deal that matches up with Garza's. As of now, the duo are expected to continue teaming together and have been appearing on screen with Santos Escobar as of late. But there you go, guys. The latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.